we ordered a shed from overstock.com. And guess what, Ryan? We finally got rid of our storage units.
Amazing. That looks like it's aesthetically pleasing. I mean, no storage shed would be better, but as far as storage sheds go, like that's pretty aesthetically pleasing, man.
If it were up to me, we wouldn't have a storage shed at all. The only thing I keep in there is a large 24-inch broom that I use to sweep the patio regularly. But before we had the shed, I just leaned it against the side of the house where no one would see it. And it was an aesthetically pleasing broom, obviously, because I you know what, I'll tell you what, I'll put a link to the specific broom that I got. If you're looking for an aesthetically pleasing broom, I'll do this for you just this one time. We'll put it in the show notes, podcast, or theminimalist.com/podcast. Although you probably don't need a new broom. And so don't just go out and impulse buy a broom because I have this broom. Dude, it doesn't make you any cooler. It makes me cooler, but it doesn't make you any cooler.
No, I appreciate your attention to detail when it comes to aesthetics. Like I need a new kettle. My kettle is finally like breaking down. It's on its last leg. And I almost texted the other day like, hey, what was that kettle that you have? Because it's a beautiful looking kettle and it serves a purpose. Same thing with the shed. Beautiful shed, serves a purpose. Awesome, man. So you got rid of your storage unit. Now all the camping gear's in there. Yeah, so the storage unit was Bex's storage unit. I say ours because I contributed to the monthly payment of it. And so what we decided is we wanted to have a shed to keep the camping gear that Bex has. And there are a few other yard things that Bex uses for gardening and trees and all this other stuff. But up to me, it would just all be giant patio in the backyard. Pour the concrete already. Oh my goodness. And you would sweep it like every day.
Yeah, twice a day, every day.
Yep. The more you sweep, the more you feel clean on the inside, right?
That's my own illness. Thank you. So this is a picture of her she shed. I have my own man cave. Just kidding.
Is she shed? Is that like an actual term or is it she shed?
Yeah.
It's it is.
It is. I actually expected this to be something totally different because what I understand she shed to be is a backyard shed that's used as a retreat, like the feminine equivalent of a man cave.
Right. That's why I was joking there because I don't have a man cave. She doesn't actually have a she shed. This is her shed.
Gotcha.
Full of her things.
Got it.
And
so when you go in there, there's not like just like posters of hot men with muscles and their shirts off and Speedos.
See, that's what I was expecting.
It's just all pictures of me posing. Bex is really into me. Thank you, Bex.
Yeah.
But we finally got rid of the storage locker. I want to talk about why real quick because we were paying a monthly fee every month. It was way cheaper than this shed. When we had to put the shed together, it shows up in 2 giant, very heavy boxes. And then you have to build a foundation underneath it as well, like a gravel foundation. And what you realize is that, yes, there are costs associated with storing our things, whether it is, so having that camping gear, she could have done one of 3 things. We could have kept it in our bedroom, just sitting there against the wall, taking up space. It would have actually become clutter at that point. Even though it was useful, it would have been useful clutter because it was getting in my way. It's not useful to me. And so Bex is compassionate and understands, I don't want this to get in the way for Josh. And so we're going to temporarily put it into a storage locker where we pay $80 a month until we've saved up enough money to not finance, but pay cash for this shed that we can put in the backyard. We put the shed in the backyard. Now all of Bex's camping equipment is there in the backyard, in the shed, and also my broom, which is nice, and all of her gardening equipment as well, because I don't want those things to get in the way. We bought a thing to get those things out of the way. However, I want to be clear about this. I don't want to simply use it to hide organized clutter. These all have to be things that still conform to our way of living, which means the just-in-case rule, the 90-90 rule, the seasonality rule, the emergency items rule, these different rules that we've implemented in our own lives that may or may not work for you. Theminimalists.com/rulebook if you want to download the free rule book for 16 rules for living with less. And we still need to conform to that. It's getting the things out of the way and doing so in an aesthetically pleasing way.
There was another option with that camping gear. You could have just camped out in your backyard all the time and put it to use.
Did you enjoy this standalone Patreon highlight? If so, you can listen to full episodes of the Minimalist Private Podcast, available exclusively on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/theminimalists or click the link in the description. Your support keeps our podcast and YouTube channel 100% advertisement free.